During the Eid holiday in September 2009, we went on safari in Tanzania. We took a plane from our then place of residence Abu Dhabi and had a 4-hour stopover in Nairobi, Kenya, before continuing to Arusha. The 5th day of our safari, we would leave the Serengeti behind and drive to our next lodge on the rim of the Ngorongoro crater. Marco collected the lunch boxes for the long drive ahead of us. Liza drooling over a Land Cruiser. We know from experience that the Land Cruisers are much more comfortable than the rickety Defenders. And off we were. Right next to the trail, these two young lions were lounging in the morning sun.
This nice trail. It's nice to have baby this time because soon the rain will until this baby to eat grass, it will be green.
We stumbled upon a rare carcass of a young elephant. It might have strayed from the herd, making it an easier prey. Little is left of the carcass. Compare the size of my shoe with the thigh bone. Also, the hide is surprisingly thick.
Eland, the largest antelope.
The hump on the neck. If the bushmen kill that one, they will not go hunting for a week.
Mongoose are immune against snake venom alpha neurotoxins. They are carnivores and live in large groups in underground burrows. Mongoose can be semi-domesticated as a pet to control pests. Stopping to see if we could lend a helping hand, but only some underbody protection had come loose. Nothing serious. A free full body massage in the bouncing car whilst enjoying the beautiful African landscape. Vultures. That means a carcass had to be close. And yes, the remains of a buffalo. These bones, especially the skull, are so thick and heavy that they cannot be devoured. From the lighter antelopes like the impalas and gazelles, you will find no more remains 2 to 3 days after the kill. Marco took us to an elevated embankment of a now almost dry river. It was a safe location for tourists to watch the hippos from above.
There's a dead crocodile.
No, the crocodile is dead because of this poop.
There's one crocodile on the rock just behind the hippo.
But why there? Oh yeah, that one. He's still alive?
Oh man.
They're fighting.
That is a good picture. That's a great picture.
Lots of people.
So the more the swamp's getting dry, they'll find somewhere else to go. But maybe before this getting very dry, we had enough rain to pull the water.
But this crocodile, he cannot attack because it's small.
Which one?
The crocodile cannot attack with hippo.
No.
Tons of meat in the water here. Tons of meat.
They do caca there and then they also swim there.
You can watch them for hours. They are crammed into the little mud that is left, causing raised stress levels amongst the animals. They discharge in the mud, and the stench is choking. A herd of bush elephant crossed our trail. The African bush elephant is one of 2 living elephant species in Africa today and is considered endangered. Bush elephants roam the plains in families, led by a female. This family is en route to the river. There are about 7,000 elephants left in the Serengeti. Elephants replace their teeth 4 to 6 times in their lifetimes. At around 60 years of age, the elephant loses his last molars and will most likely die of starvation, which is a common source of death. One set of tusks continue to grow throughout the elephant's lifetime. The elephant's brain is similar in structure and complexity as the human brain. They are amongst the world's most intelligent species. A fertile female gives birth every 3 to 6 years. Elephants sleep only about 2 hours per day. Marabou stork at the watering hole. That is also used by the buffalo to cool down from the midday heat. Because hot it was. This lioness found shade under a tree. Her mate under another tree. They were supposed to be mating, but no action under the midday sun. Then lions do what lions do best.
Oh, he's lying. He's lying.
You say bye-bye.
There was a panic at the Serunera river crossing. A lioness scared the hell out of a few baboons.
Baboon say, oh.
The baboon is doing pee-pee. He's scared.
Scared of the lions.
The small one, look.
And on we went on the endless gravel road where there is always something to see. Like these jackals leave a kill after having their fill. And these vultures moving in to pick up the scraps. Finally, we reached to the border post of the Serengeti National Park. And there is where we came from. The formalities to leave the park took some time because there were a lot of cars checking out ahead of us. Shake, rattle and roll in the old Defender. And as always, Liza takes the discomfort without complaints. We are now in Maasai land. A truck had broken down along the trail and was surrounded by curious Maasai who looked as if they were on war footing.
Check the box. It's got a breakdown since yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
Marco gave the driver some snacks and water while he was waiting for roadside assistance that could easily take another day to arrive. Maasai driving their cattle back to the village. The elders look after the cows, whilst the youngsters look after the goats and sheep. If you are too close to a village, the Maasai will run up to the car and ask for money. The larger the group, the more persistent they become, so we keep a non-intrusive distance. The inner ring of the Maasai Enkang, where the cattle is kept, is formed of sharp, thorny bushes, also perfect trap for plastic. The huts that are mainly built by the women are positioned around the cattle corral. The outer fence is made of thick, pointed sticks. These are the layers of defense against rival tribes and predators. Younger Maasais with their goats. Another Maasai village, perched on the outside of the rim of the Ngoro crater. After this day-long journey, everybody in the car, and especially the driver Marco, was relieved to arrive at the lodge on top of the crater rim. The views from the rooftop terrace over the crater were spectacular. The Ngoro crater is the world's largest inactive, intact and unfilled caldera. The crater that formed 2 to 3 million years ago is 600 meters deep and covers 260 square kilometers. The Manga stream is the main source of water and feeds Lake Magadi. The other major water source is a spring near the eastern crater wall, feeding a huge swampy area. About 25,000 large animals live in the crater. It should be a good opportunity to spot a black rhino, since the few access roads make it difficult for poachers to strike. But unfortunately, we didn't see a single black rhino, the only trophy that we missed during this safari. Tomorrow we will drive into the caldera. But for now we enjoy the evening with a cold beer and music by the Miluzi Arts Group. You can look them up on YouTube.
Descending in Ukraine.
The grey-crowned crane is the national bird of Tanzania. The lesser flamingo feeds on spirulina algae that grow in the alkaline waters of Lake Magadi. The algae contain the photosynthetic pigments that give the birds their pink color. In the swampy area near the spring, there is enough water to maintain peace amongst the hippos. The dominant male asserts his power by marking the territory with his feces. Enjoy your meal. The blue wildebeest found in the crater do not take part in the annual migration for which the Serengeti is famous, but they do leave the crater during the wet season. Their main predator is the hyena. Breeding takes place at the end of the wet season, and the calves are soon active and able to move with the herd.
And the other side they are in line.
Wildebeest often graze in mixed herds with zebra, which gives heightened awareness of dangers. A pride of lions crossing the river. Unlike tigers and jaguars, the lions elude water.
It's a big fact.
However, on very hot days, they go in the water to cool themselves off. They also will not hesitate to follow their prey into the water to catch it. The youngsters need some extra persuasion. There are about 65 to 75 lions in the crater, over 7 to 8 prides. Serious inbreeding weakens the Ngorongoro lions. The pride will spend the rest of the day sleeping in the shade of these bushes. On the far side of the lake, a male ostrich is giving the performance of his life. White-backed vultures are the most common vulture in Africa. They feed in groups and are often the first to arrive at a carcass. The adults have a whitish back, while the juveniles are largely dark. These birds are not strong enough to tear through the tough hide of a buffalo. They have to wait for the larger lappet-faced vulture, a solitary living bird and the most powerful of the African vultures. As with other living species, youngsters have to be disciplined. After feeding, the vultures often rest with their wings spread and their backs facing the sun, as they have gorged themselves so much they can no longer fly. Soon this long journey was coming to an end, and we would spend the night in Gibbs Coffee Farm and Eco Resort. It was an absolute gem, lovely suite with fireplace that was also visible from the bathroom, that included an outdoor shower with its own music maker. The vista from the terrace over the open landscape was stunning. A pair of African hoopoe were tending to their nest just over our bathroom window. The farm provides for its own food, and man, did we have a healthy dinner. This twister formed at dusk, powered by the scorching hot earth surface. These dust storms usually cause little damage and was the last event of the day. Tomorrow will be the final day of our Tanzania safari. In this video we covered our trip from the Serengeti on the top left, via the Ngorongoro in the middle, and now to Lake Manyara at the bottom of the screen. The day will end in Arusha to the right, from where we will fly back home in Abu Dhabi. From Gibbs Coffee Farm and Eco Lodge, we have to drive down the mountain to reach Lake Manyara National Park. Marco is preparing the sun cover over the Defender. The landscape on the fringes of the lake is much greener and lush than we have seen in the Serengeti Plains. The fauna differs as well, like this blue monkey. They live largely in the forest canopy, coming to the ground infrequently. This solitary male lives off fruits, insects, leaves and flowers. Also, the bushbuck is a forest floor dweller. Only the males have horns.
Very nice. Look at this small one. On the mother.
A troop of baboons crossing our trail.
One. Oh, is it injured? No.
Adult females are the core of the social system. Female relatives form their own subgroups. They groom one another and team up in aggressive encounters within the troop.
Oh, it's hiding.
This female is hiding her newly born from
She doesn't
our
want to
prying eyes. A female often forms non-sexual, long-lasting friendships with other males in her troop for protection from unwanted advances or aggression of males seeking to mate.
He's drinking. The monkey. Oh, the big one is there. The big one there, oh, honey. That must be the male.
That must be the leader.
Females stay with the troop their entire life, while males emigrate to others, often challenging the sitting older male for dominance. Adult males fight aggressively for access to females. We continue along the fringes of the largely dried out lake bed. In the wet season, this will be all underwater. A fully grown giraffe can stand up to 5.5 meters tall and weigh more than a ton. Its fur produces parasite-repellent chemicals. Males have a stronger odor than females, so it may also have a sexual function.
Very sexy.
Giraffes nibble on the leaves of twigs of mainly acacia trees. They have to spend so much time foraging that they can only rest or sleep for about 2 hours a day. And when they sleep, it looks like this. We proceed to the hot spring on the western valley wall, through which water at over 60 degrees drains into the lake.
Very hot. Very hot.
Yes, it is still a volcanic area, and this little stream turns into a pond that attracts spoonbills, flamingo, ducks, ibis and geese that feed on the little critters and algae thriving in the warm water. With ruffled feathers and an open beak, the southern ground hornbill tries to stay cool under the midday sun. They are foraging for insects and small animals found in the short but dense grassland. Marco took us to a traditional Maasai boma or village to show us the interior of one of the enkaji or the huts. The village looks deserted, but in the dry season the men take the cattle a long distance to greener pastures.
In het midden de kraal voor de koeien. Daaromheen de huizen.
Women, elderly and children are left behind and spend their time indoors sheltering for the heat.
En daaromheen weer de buitenfans.
This is the lady of the house, and it is the responsibility of the women to build the enkaji. The frame is made out of wooden sticks stuck into the ground in a circular form. These sticks are then interlaced with a lattice of smaller twigs. Thereafter, the walls are plastered with a mixture of mud, cow dung and human urine. Naisia is sitting in front of the parents' bedroom, and Liza is sitting in front of the children's room. The raised bedroom floors are again made of sticks and twigs, but not plastered, to enable cooling ventilation. The entrance is placed away from the prevailing winds. To the left of the entrance there is a space for animals, usually a cow that gives milk. Meals are prepared on open wood fires, but this enkaji also has a luxury sheet metal fireplace. Maybe that's why the lady of the house is called Naisia, which translates as the hard-working one.
No, when it's become dry like this, they move
Far.
with the cows they don't milk them. The cows they milking, they stay at home.
Okay.
With the women at home.
Yeah.
And all the cows are in one fence. Every woman knows that which cow is for her, which cow she's going to milk.
Marco seems impressed by Naisia. Hear his comments.
You see, she look like smart, very white teeth.
Yes, I see that, yeah.
Upon departure, Marco distributed snacks and water, whilst Liza made smiling faces, sharing the photos she made of the family. The visit to Naisia's family concludes our safari. What follows are some uncommented street shots from our drive back to Arusha. We hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as we enjoyed the making of it.
Someone moved from one side of the town going to another side. You see, I did see in Arusha town here, and people from Europe who are living here, and all the white people, and you can't see them with a small car. They've got a Land Rover like this because they're living outside of the city. Or sometimes during their holiday time, they want to go somewhere out, and they can use the same car.
Yes.
I see a lot of Tanzanian people, they like to buy this small car.